Hey, have you ever been sitting in a staff meeting and nothing ever gets resolved? The same leader deflects accountability again, and somebody quietly suggests that maybe it's time for a change. But here's the response that they get. Hey, we just need to persevere through this. God's testing our faithfulness. We can't quit. Quitting isn't godly. And suddenly that endurance becomes the trump card that just ends all of the conversation. And that's what we're talking about today, because somewhere along the line, somewhere along the way, we turned a beautiful virtue of endurance into a weapon. Hi there. We're going to talk about that here on the Healthy Church Staff Podcast. My name is Todd Rhoades, one of the co-founders at chemistrystaffing.com. Churches are really good at teaching endurance. We love verses about running the race and finishing strong. We could preach about that. That'll preach all day, every Sunday, and even sometimes on Monday. But watch what happens when somebody points out any kind of dysfunction. And suddenly, if we're not careful, perseverance can get weaponized to shut down just the hard conversations that need to happen. Hey, just keep serving becomes code for just stop asking questions here, okay? And that's where it can get dangerous, because endurance can enable if we're not careful. Staff members stay in toxic situations because leaving feels unspiritual. Teams endure abusive leadership because God's still working here, even though we're not quite sure how. Dysfunction gets labeled as growing pains that require more patience. And if we're not careful, people will burn out their thinking because they think that their exhaustion is just something that happens in ministry. Now listen, I am not against perseverance. Okay, I think Scripture is really clear about enduring hardship for the gospel. Matter of fact, my generation, people that were called into ministry, that was our, how do you want to say, that was our beating drum, right? That was our heartbeat, our drum beat, is that almost the harder that it got, the more we would endure. But there's a massive difference, if we're honest, between godly endurance and enabling broken systems. So I think if your church falls into this trap, it might be time for a perseverance resetter. Okay, and here's what I mean by that. Godly perseverance endures hardship for mission advancement. Toxic perseverance endures dysfunction that destroys mission effectiveness. Real endurance sometimes means having to have the hard conversation. Now, and sometimes faithfulness, it looks like setting a boundary. Sometimes love means not rescuing somebody from their consequences. And sometimes that biblical perseverance that we hold so high never protects sin or enables harm. So your staff is watching how you handle dysfunction. And if you hide behind endurance, they're going to learn to do the same. The truth is, healthy teams need permission to name problems without being spiritual and throwing all the spiritual jargon into it. The strongest leaders know when to endure and when to act. And culture change requires some people to stop enabling the status quo. Here's the bottom line for today. Perseverance in ministry without discernment, we may think it's a virtue, but it isn't. It's cowardness. It's just dressed up in Bible verses. So I want you to remember this today. Your team deserves leaders who know the difference between godly endurance and unhealthy enabling. That's today's edition of the Healthy Church Staff Podcast. I hope it's been helpful to you. You can reach out to me anytime. Todd.church is my website, todd.church. And you can reach out to me. I would love to connect you with any of our team here at Chemistry Staffing. I don't do a lot of things well, but we have done a tremendous job at bringing staff on our team that are just absolutely incredible ministry minds. And if there's an area that you need a little bit of help in, maybe just a discussion to bounce some ideas off of, we would love to be able to enable you to do that. So reach out to me. Todd.church. There's a contact form on that site as well. You can reach out to me and we'll make sure either I or somebody on our team gets back to you. All right, that's it for today. Hope you'll join me again tomorrow right here on the Healthy Church Staff Podcast. Have a